how's it going? Susan Ruth here. Thanks for listening to another episode of Hey Human Podcast. This is episode 468, and my guest is Ungė Zavistauskaitė. Ungė is most well known for hosting the travel show Kitokios Trobos. She's born and raised in Lithuania. She attended Russian State University of Cinematography and has appeared in several TV series and film. She's fluent in Lithuanian, Russian, and English, and I met her at a gathering in Los Angeles, where she's currently living as she expands her career. She's delightful and interesting and gives insight to what it was like growing up in Lithuania and attending college in Russia. In other news, check out heyhumanpodcast.com for links and to learn more about my guests and the show. Check out susanruth.com to learn more about me and my other artistic endeavors. Follow Susan Ruthism on social media and find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your music. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Hey Human wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have a favorite podcast place that you don't find Hey Human, let me know, and I will make sure Hey Human will be on that podcast place. Thank you for listening. Be well, be kind, be love, and here we go. Ungė Zavi, welcome to Hey Human.
Hey, Susan, nice to meet you. Nice to see you there.
Good to see you, yes. And your birth name is much longer, and I did practice it. I'm going to try one more time. Zavistauskaitė.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. In this city of angels, I love to introduce myself as Zavi because it's simple, easy, and easy to pronounce and easy to remember.
Zavi is a cool name, but I do think that it's important that people learn how to say people's names.
Yeah, one day when I'll be really famous, I will, make everybody to pronounce Zavistauskaitė on every late night show.
There you go. Exactly. And I think there are a lot of names that are extra vowels and consonants these days. I don't know. I feel like it's your name. You get to have it. That the fact that other people aren't working on trying to pronounce it, we should learn how to pronounce each other's names at the very least. Anyway, enough said about that. Let's talk about you and where you are from and where you grew up and what childhood and growing up was like.
Well, I am from Lithuania and I came to Los Angeles almost 2 months ago. Well, month and 2 weeks ago. With a special talent visa. And so I'm a newborn in this city of angels. And actually, I was growing up in Lithuania. I lived there all my life. And then when I turned 18, I went to Moscow to study acting for 4 years. I did a new language, actually. I came to Moscow without knowing Russian, because Lithuanian is absolutely different language, even the different group of languages. So here people often ask me, oh, so it's like the same? Yeah, Russian and Lithuanian. And I'm like, no, it's like completely different. So I came without knowing the language because in the very beginning of my career, of my journey, I was trying to look for bigger possibilities, like to do something in a bigger country so I can, because Lithuania is so small. We have an industry, but it's just really small. And I was interested in getting bigger from the very beginning. So and I went to Moscow. They got me. They put me in the group, even though I didn't spoke like Russian. I was working in Russia, and then they started a war. And after that, I decided to leave immediately because I didn't want to be connected somehow with this. So I left Russia and started my career again in Lithuania, in Europe. Actually from scratch, because while I was studying in Russia for 4 years, 4.5, nobody knew me in Lithuania, because it's like a different industry, different country, different people. connections. So I was like, "Hey, I'm Lithuanian. I know you don't know nothing. You know nothing about me, but I'm an actress, and I want to be in movies." And then I actually built my career there. I became a well-known actress. I made a lot of movies with the leading roles, TV shows. I'm a host of a travel show, and I was in Dancing with the Stars.
Is that the Dancing with the Stars or the Lithuanian version of Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, it's actually the Dancing with the Stars, but in Lithuania. It's a Lithuanian edition.
Yeah,
And we used to shoot that one in Cuba, and we were dancing with real Cuban professional dancers.
that'd be sexy.
Yeah, and I love that project. And so, yeah, I became really famous in my country. And then, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I love being here. I love all these projects, and I love that people are taking pictures with me on the streets. But, the feeling that I want more. I want to improve myself, in somewhere in a bigger place. It's like it was also all the time with me, and I was thinking a lot about it. Ugne, do you really need this? It will cost you a lot of money, a lot of effort, starting everything from scratch again, third time in your life, and blah blah blah. And so I had a really big talk with myself. I realized that the worst feeling, the feeling I hate the most in this life is what if. What if I tried my career in Hollywood? What if I just, and sleeping with that what if is the worst you can give to you. So I was like, just okay, just let's do this. Let's try, because nobody knows, maybe I'll never get the talent visa, especially now, with this politics and with this amazing president. so and I tried, and then Trump came to the politics, and I was like, oh, I will never get this. No, forget, Ugne, just forget about it. You tried, you're a good girl. And then somehow, really accidentally, I was sitting in the bar with my friend, and I got the email from the government, and I'm like, oh, what's the email? And I'm opening that email, and they're like, congratulations, you have a visa. And I'm like, no way, I already forgot about it. So we were drinking in that bar till it closed, and I was saying toasts on the bar stage, like standing there, because all bar was cheering for me, because I was like, oh my god, guys, can you imagine, I just got the visa. They're like, oh my god. Yeah, I drink to the bar for bar money all that night, because they were like, you will need this money in United States, so we will just give you drinks for free, you worth it. That's how I got the visa, and I started my journey here.
How many languages do you speak at this point?
3.
Russian, English, Lithuanian.
Yeah, and a little bit of Spanish. But I just understand Spanish, but I can't say a lot in Spanish. But it's one of my dreams. Well, I would say dream, not a goal, because I'm not doing actually nothing for that. I'm just dreaming about learning Spanish. So I hope one day this dream will become my one of the goals.
Good news is your brain is already wired for multiple languages. So if you didn't when did you learn English? Were you young when you learned English?
Yeah, at school. Lithuania is super small country. We have 2.5 million people. So yeah, we don't have that, big country syndrome. We are small and we know it. So we have to know at least one foreign language. And like actually kids are speaking English already. We have really strong education on that. And it's almost like Lithuanian, a lot of lessons from the very beginning, from the first class. So yeah, almost all young Lithuanians know English.
When you come from a country that has open media and then go to school in a country that has a closed media, so state-run versus public, how did you adjust to that, especially as an actor? Because I imagine that everything in Russia has to go through Russian government to be approved, whereas in Lithuanian, it's free. free media, you can do and say whatever you want. The government doesn't own the television. How did you adjust to that?
Well, I think it was a really very beginning of my story, and I never went to this highest layers of everything. So well, I was in features, but well, I was playing supporting roles, not main roles, and I never went to that level where it will be questionable. But I felt it really well after I left, because when I left the country because of the war, and I like said to everybody, to my agent, to my manager, to my university, that I am leaving because I don't want to be connected with this. I started to get so many castings like never before, like every week, maybe 5 or 6 to really good roles. And they feel that they wanted me to be back, because politically and like I think it's a good strategy, to have European actors in their projects. Like everything is good. You see, they are with us, they are in our movies, and it's not a big deal. Like the industry is still working. So they tried really hard to bring me back to the projects. And I was like, oh, that's great. My believing and who I am is not letting me, my inner Ugne is not letting me to be in that country and to work with these people. But like universe and these people are sending me such roles, I could just imagine, dream about them. But anyway, I never tried even send them something back, never answered them, because and actually still it's been more than 3 years, right? Maybe 4 already, and they're still sending me like castings, and still asking me to make tapes, yeah, every week. Like, and it's crazy, when you have to say no to things that people are dreaming about,
Yeah,
because yourself and being yourself, being truthful with yourself, is stronger than business.
absolutely. I'm a big fan of that myself. What was childhood like in Lithuania? To grow up there, it's a tight community, I imagine. As you mentioned, 2.5, 2.8 million people. It's tiny. It's off the Baltic Sea. It's beautiful. How was that growing up?
Actually, I had really unique childhood because when I was a really little girl, the roof of our house I lived with my family, it crashed. And besides of buying an apartment somewhere in the city while fixing the house, my father and my mother, they decided to buy a countryside village and move with all the family. Well, at that time it was me, my sister, my grandmother, and my parents. So we actually moved in the middle of the forest, and in the tiny wooden like house in the middle of the forest, and we used to live there for almost 7 years, because well, we know at the very start it was really extreme, especially for my parents, being with two small kids, somewhere in the woods. And they never lived in, they never been farmers, or they never like lived in, they were like city guys, and they lived in the city all their life. So it was kind of challenging, but after that they loved it so much, so they didn't even want you to go back to the city. So I think that's why we stayed there for so long. And of course, after that, we moved back to our house. But it was such a fairy tale, just living in the woods with my sister, playing all these games, imagining that we have our own farms and our own, pets, because we actually had hens and pigs and even strausses, because my parents went hardcore with that, like, let's try farm life, and they bought a lot of different type of birds, like, and they started to be farmers. And it was so new for them, and of course so new for me and for my sister. And it was really nice eating your own eggs, well, your own hens. Well, my sister, after that, my sister became vegetarian because she was so upset by eating her friends. Oh, it sounds horrible, but but yeah. And yeah, I feel that it gave a lot for me, especially now, in this crazy world, and being the forest girl, I think it just helps for me. Like until this day, I am feeling so myself in nature. I am not afraid of nothing. Like I could be alone in the woods and never be afraid of a walk or wherever, because I feel like it's my home. And knowing all the species of berries, mushrooms, trees, and flowers. Like till this day, I feel that it's so common for me, and I have a dream that one day, if I'll have my own kids, maybe, I don't know, I want them to grow up in the woods, in the forest, just like I am, because like it's when I was living in the woods, I was a bit shy, because you're like a farm girl and it's not cool, and like going to the city and telling everybody, oh wow, where do you live? And like, and the farm it's not cool. And but now I realize that it was the best what my parents could give me.
Yeah, I always talk about going and living in the forest. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand your sister deciding to become a vegetarian. It would be hard to get to know all the animals on a deep level and then have them on your plate. I think
Oh
that
yeah.
the idea of going to the store and buying a faceless, nameless animal is probably a lot easier for people.
Absolutely, yeah. And she became vegetarian when she was maybe like 8 or 9 years old, so really small girl. I'm not so. I think I'm not so sensitive as she is, so I was like, well, it's not a big deal for me, but for her it was.
Yeah. Yeah. When the war began and you're in Russia, you go back home to Lithuania. Was there ever a feeling that Putin had his sights set on the other countries, that maybe Belarus and Latvia, that you're all in jeopardy, that he wants to reunify the USSR? Was that something that people talked about?
Absolutely. They're still talking about, and Lithuania is supporting Ukraine so much. We have a lot of, organizations, and people are like Lithuanians are going on used cars by themselves to Ukraine to give these cars food and medicine and everything. Like it's not only on the government level, but it's very on the personal level, because people are like really going by themselves to these really hot spots of Ukraine, and giving all they can give to Ukrainians, because we know if Ukraine will lose the war, we are gonna be next.
Yeah.
So it's kind of airbag. How it sounds cruel, but Ukraine is an airbag of Lithuania, you know. And if they will lose, we are next. And actually, it's a lot of anxiety now in Lithuania, because news every day are like, yeah, war is here, we are next, and the things are getting really bad, and and people are so afraid, and the prices of everything is really high now, and people live in this horrible feeling of that something's gonna happen really soon. Some of them are leaving country right now, and even in the film industry, actually, Lithuania was really lovable for shooting. Netflix left and Scandinavians left to shoot in Lithuania, because we have really cheap technique, like stuff, and really good tax policy. But now they're not shooting, because A-lister stars they don't want to go there, because like, oh my god, they have a war just behind them, so we don't want to be there because it's risky. So yeah, you can feel that anxiety all away, not only in Lithuania, in all the Baltics.
Yeah. Yeah, the tides can turn really quickly. And it's very strange as an American citizen to have watched over the last 10 years the propaganda that has been pro-Russia, or, well, pro-Russian government. I mean, I don't hold it against the Russian people. They're doing the best they can. But but Putin and how he's been sort of glorified is very bizarre. I don't even understand what's going on in the world. I mean, I do. I get it on an intellectual level, but on a heart level, it's just, come on, can you people just put your dicks away and let everyone live in harmony? Do you really need that extra piece of land? Do you really need to? It's just so gross.
Yeah, that's crazy. Living in Middle Ages when we have 21st century and nobody cares. We all are actually feeling, I don't know, but I feel like I am not, I'm a person of the world. I don't care. I can live there and there and there, and I don't care if I am citizen of that country or I'm not, because world, it feels like now world is for everybody, and you can choose. You have the freedom to choose where you want to live. And for these guys, it feels like they're still in middle century and they care about the borders, getting more land, and that's crazy actually. Oh my god, that's so sad. Yeah, that's horrible.
It does seem bizarre that in 2026 now that there's 10 or 11 mostly dudes who they just want more. And the thing that really fascinates me is people who buy into that propaganda, who do see borders, who do see restrictions, because when we all work together, we have seen this over and over again. When people come together, when communities come together, when countries come together, it's so powerful and we're so strong that way. But just a few greedy people want everything for themselves, their power and their money and kidnapping young people to do terrible things too. And it's just, this is why I think it's important to have conversations with people from all over the world, because we all need to hear from the voices of the people. We get enough of the blowhards of the politicians. We need to hear the voices of the people.
I don't know. That's so sad. When we live in 21st century and like all the mentality problems and like going to psychotherapist or like to the therapist is normal. It's not a shame, and we all talking a lot about our inner health and a lot about our traumas and healing, and it's not a taboo as it was 10 years ago. And still, like things like that syndrome of Napoleon is still happening. Just go to therapist and heal your traumas. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, for sure. That Napoleon trauma is that's so real. All right, so you come to Los Angeles, which is so brave, and because this is a huge city, we have like 4 times as many people in the city than you have in your whole country.
Yeah.
Nuts, and that's just LA, extended LA. What has been some of the culture shock? What has been some of the excitement? What things did you expect that isn't the way you thought it would be, and vice versa?
Yeah, actually, the craziest part, well, I never thought about it because I'm really easygoing person, and for me it's easy to make friends. But actually, I'm realizing that I came not just all alone by myself, but came without knowing almost like nobody. I have no relatives, no, friends here. Well, I had, now I do. But when I just came, it was just me by myself and knowing some people from the festivals I met once in my life. So that's all I knew, from here, from the city. And yeah, I think I saw all these people I knew, maybe 20 or 30, because I saw them once in my life. So they weren't my friends or wherever. And I came just by myself. And actually, I say that I left saying that Los Angeles for me is like a zoo, because it's like crazily, horribly, amazingly, fascinatingly horrible, and it all at once. And it really depends on where you are, with whom you are, and that's just a lot of facts were like shocking me. And I have notes on my phone where I'm writing everything that that sounds like really crazy things, and I'm writing everything. But that's for me, it's is so crazy about Los Angeles and United States. I definitely love being here. I was here twice before coming, just to check, to double check if I really want to be here, if I really want to work on that talent visa. Uh, so I like being here. I think it's a city of really ambitious people, and I love being surrounded by people who wants more. It is inspiring, but sometimes it is crashing at once, because sometimes I have thoughts like, what I'm doing here, oh my god, why I need this. Like, it's so, everything is so, everything is strange for me here. Well, and then the other day I'm meeting somebody who inspires me, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool being here. So it's like roller coasters for me now, especially when I'm so new. And of course, I want everything like here and now. My agent, my manager, my projects, and but I need to understand that it's not gonna be like in Lithuania, because it's just like you said, the city is like way bigger than my country. A lot of things are shocking me, like, for example, for example, implants for dogs, fake balls for dogs, and you were in that party. You know what I'm talking about.
Nudicles.
Yeah, yeah, and just that people my new word is bullshitting. A lot of bullshitters, as well.
Yeah.
And
I think you get that in the entertainment industry in general, or maybe just in industry in general. And I do think that like attracts like. You have a really lovely light about you, and you're very open, which is great. So you will probably scare the crap out of people who don't know themselves, because they won't know how to be. And the people who are open and who are grounded are going to be drawn to you, because that's what you give out.
I am really happy about myself, that I really have that gut feeling, and I just being with people who I like, who I feel, and I don't care if you're a big producer and you want to go to your mansion with me and eat some salmon. Like, I don't care about you. You can be the biggest producer of this country, but I don't feel you. Like, you're wrong. And I really believe that the energy we resonate, it goes back to us like a boomerang. So I really want to be surrounded by people who I feel and who feel me, and we can do something good for each other, not like 20-80%, but like 50-50, because I know what I can give. Yeah. And mm, it's not, just beautiful face and making pictures on the red carpet. It's not about me. And I don't want to be a part of that, because being an actress is not about being famous. It's about doing your art, and because you can't do anything else in this world. It's not a profession, it's a diagnosis. And I realize it. And being just surrounded with posh people who wants to use you is not about being an actress, is not about creating the art. So I'm trying to find my people, and grow together. And I really manifest and waiting for them to come.
They're coming. They're coming. I love that line. It's not a profession, it's a diagnosis. I think that's brilliant.
I feel like that because, I was thinking a lot about, why do I need this? I think every actor is thinking like, why can I do anything like normal? Why I need to be an actor? Why it turns me so on, and, just being a crazy person trying, years and years to reach something that is maybe not reachable, or it can be reached by just some people, who won the the ticket in the lottery. But anyway, we're doing this. because it's not about, it's not about work, it's about who we are. So that's why I'm talking that we are a bit sick people.
Yeah, I always say it's a sickness. That I have friends who have been cured of the sickness, and I say, how did you figure out how to leave? Because I can't imagine. It feels like death to me. But everybody's different. Everyone has their own path. Are you working on being able to, because you have a pretty heavy accent, do an English American or even English accent without the Lithuanian peeking through? Is that something you're working on, or does it matter as an actor to be able to do that? Will it hurt or hinder?
No, I'm definitely working on that. I have a dialect coach, and I really want to improve my accent. I know it's possible because I improved my Russian accent and I lost my Lithuanian accent speaking Russian. So I know that I have that ear for that. And I really wish that it will work out for the second time as well. And yeah, but I just started, and it's not so easy, and it takes time and effort. So yeah, I will do my best, at least to make it as tiny as possible, to make it smaller. But because it's definitely it's important. The best part of it would be to learn how to switch and to use your accent when you need it and not use it when you don't need it. So it's definitely my goal and the goal of my dialect coach. I just started because I'm very, very new, and I was trying to find a really good professional for this, because it's one more, I think really important thing of 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 working on your craft is to work with professionals. I mean, with bests. And talking with agent and manager, a manager is the same. I don't need just to get an agent. I need an agent who cares, and the manager as well. I can sign the contract like now if I just want to get something, to just get that point done. But I need like a really great professional, because I want the best team surrounded, and I want to be with the best team who surrounds me. So getting the best dialect coach and the agent or manager who really cares about their talents, and yeah, so I am working on these qualified connections, not just.
Yeah, I know a great dialect coach if you need any. I mean, you said you have one, but if you want more, or you want somebody different, or maybe both, let me know and I'll get you
Yeah,
her.
of course. Of course. Great. Yeah. I would love to
Really
try different professionals. Yeah.
This is kind of a strange question, maybe, but I'm fascinated by the folklore of other countries. Is there a Lithuanian folklore that sticks out to you that you can share, that maybe you heard as a kid growing up, or the things in the woods or anything like that?
Well, actually, yeah, we do have a lot, because Lithuanian in general is one of the oldest languages still alive. It came from Sanskrit. And right, like now, if somebody wants to learn Sanskrit, I don't know why you need it, but anyway, they're starting with Lithuanian, because it's easier to get Sanskrit through Lithuanian language, because it's very similar, very, very close. We have like our songs, and these songs are a part of UNESCO, because they are like really ancient songs, and the technique Lithuanians sing them, it's like I forgot the word, but when they have like different voices on different levels and they all go together.
Polytones, yeah.
Yeah, polytones. So yeah, these songs they sound really strange and really exotic, like a bit witchy, but they came from, I don't know which century, but there's like super old. From the fun part, we have, I think we're the only country in the world who has a festival for soup, dedicated for soup.
I love soup.
Yeah, it's like a cold beetroot soup. It's a very Lithuanian, very traditional dish, and Lithuanians are crazy about it. We love it so much, so we made our own festival for that soup. And that soup is really funky because it's in pink, like in dark pink. So everybody's dressing up in pink, and we have like a huge table which goes through the whole street, the main street of Lithuania, and everybody's sitting. Every like people who lives in the city sits in front of the table, and they eat that soup. We have like a lot of activities during the festival, and the whole city of Vilnius is becoming pink for a day. So it's really fun. The day before Christmas, it's a really spiritual day. So we are making, like, Lithuanians love to do some witching that night because we believe that it's a night of miracles. And so yeah, we are doing a little bit of magic on that special day. And as well, Lithuanians really care and support about people who are dead. So we have, like, when you're celebrating Halloween, for us, it's a day of all the people who left this world. So in Lithuania, it's about being quiet, being with yourself, talking with people you love who are not here yet already, and going to light a candle and leave some flowers. So it's a really spiritual night.
I love that. I love the idea of a town feeling magical for one night where everything's possible. I love that.
Yeah, and everybody believes that like miracles are becoming true because, like, it's, of course, it's connected with the religion because Jesus was born, and it's a miracle. So the night when Jesus was born, it's actually before Christmas. So it is the most, like, the most important part of Christmas. And that day we can't eat any meat, any dairy. We have very specific table, like, and all the dishes are coming generation to generation, and we are eating the same dishes as my grandmother was cooking. So now my mother is cooking the same, and they actually smell the same. And it's really unique because usually during the year you never eat these dishes. They are special, especially for that dinner before Christmas. So, and it's really fun because you can feel the same smell as you felt when you was 5 or 7 years old, and remembering your grandmother who used to make this, and now your mother is making, and you know that you're the next one in this tradition of generations. And it's really magical and special. We're praying a little bit, we're eating uh, like, well, it can sound strange, but it's called, in Lithuanian, it's called body of the god, because, like, that special, symbolic thing. So usually you can eat only in church, but that special night you can eat it in your own home. So yeah, it's really magical.
That's really lovely. Are you working on the recipes to carry on the traditions?
Well, yeah, I always help my mother to make it all, and my two sisters, we all are just helping for our mother. So I think we are getting these just, naturally. But yeah, I wish my mother will help me, and we will make this together, like, for 100 years more.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of tradition. I think it's important. I think it weaves together a culture, it weaves together the family, it weaves together a region, and ultimately, in theory, the world. Wouldn't that be nice? So I think it's great. Are you homesick at all?
Actually, not. I never been, even living in Russia, or I feel that, my home is where it's not about a piece of land. It's about people I feel connected with and I care. So I actually don't really care where to live, in which part of the world. The most important for me is to be connected with my family, which we are because we have internet. And yeah, I feel that they're here and they're supporting me so much, and they're really like they're the best cheerleaders I could imagine. So we are really connected, and so I'm, of course, I miss them a little bit. But I don't miss the land, because I don't know. I feel that my dreams, and everything I want is bigger than just a piece of land or the street I grew up, and it's all about people, and you feel at home as long as you have people who makes you feel that you're at home. And yeah, so that's why I'm trying to 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 find these people here. Well, not trying to, I think they will come because it's on the different level of energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell people how they can find you if they want to look up your stuff.
I have an Instagram page. It's Ungė Z. So you can find me on Instagram. UGNE, that thing, I don't know how you call that, the lower one, and Z. And so you can find me on Instagram. And yeah, I'm making that kind of diary of my American journey. So posting a lot on my stories, raw content, because people love that raw content. I'm not trying to be, oh, girl from LA with my ice matcha and so on. I'm showing like real stuff, and how I'm struggling with my cars, with my truck, with the parking, with the eating, and with all these strange things for me. I am finding in Los Angeles. So yeah, it can be really fun.
And you're on YouTube a little bit. I found a couple things of you being interviewed, and so you have presence on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I do have. I'm not. I don't have my channel like my. I do have a channel just for my self tapes. Sometimes I'm just uploading them, but yeah, I do have some clips with my show reels, me dancing salsa, me acting. Yeah, I do have my website, but it was made for Lithuanians, so it's just my surname.com, the long one. That's the difficult one, not Zavi. So yeah, I do have my website, and well, unfortunately, everything is in Lithuanian. I would recommend to show these travel shows I'm a host of, because we are traveling all around the world and reviewing most interesting, random, and extraordinary Airbnbs and showing what you can see around. So it's really fun, and Lithuanians love it. But unfortunately, it's in Lithuanian. So
Yeah, well, still, it's kind of cool to see everything. What's that show called?
different huts.
There you go. Did you see when we were at dinner? Did you see the Airbnb that David and Megan stayed in that looked like a giant spaceship?
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, we were considering this one as well, for one of our shows, because we already shot 3 episodes here in United States. But instead of that, we went to the rocket sailor. How? Oh, no, not sailor. How you call that? Uh, place where they put the rockets and then they can go to space.
Like Cape Canaveral?
Yeah, it's underground. That underground thing.
Silo.
Silo, yeah, rocket silo. So we stayed there instead, and it was really fun.
That's cool. That's neat. I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you, Susan. It was a pleasure. I love your energy and just you as a person. It was a pleasure for me to talk with you and to tell a bit more about myself.
Yeah, it was really lovely for me too. And I think things are going to be really great for you. I think they already are, but you bring so much energy and light and life to the room that I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And hope to see you soon.
I hope so too. And I'll put links for people on heyhumanpodcast.com so that they can find all this information easily. And thank you for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Rate, review, and subscribe to Hey Human Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening. Bye.